Okay, I'll just start off by saying that I know my voice is nasal, I'm not sick, but my voice is just like that. If you find it annoying to listen to, I'll put a summary every topic I go over, which will allow you to get a grasp of what I'm still saying. In this video, I'll try to be as straightforward as possible and that most of the contents of this video come from the research and knowledge of a couple people. First, Aimer7, very experienced boomer with a big ego, but he's super smart at aiming and pioneered the aiming community pretty much. Second, Sini helped me make this guide by blessing me with his knowledge. He owns the Sparky community, which has a bunch of resources like aim routines, coaching, and they're a really nice community, so make sure to join their Discord over here. Without further ado, let's get into it.
Please like the video, I need to get guap to pay for my annual hentai subscription.
Number 1. Sensitivity in Fortnite. First, you should base your sensitivity on your preferences and your mouse space. Copying a pro's sensitivity won't make you automatically as good as them, because they play on a different setup than you and have different preferences based on their playstyle. Starting at their sensitivity and then adjusting it though is not a bad option. Now that we've established that there's no set in stone perfect sensitivity for Fortnite, I'd like to argue that Fortnite sensitivity is best if you use around the 20cm to 36cm mark.
But Kariyu, why are you talking about your pee-pee size?
Good question. These numbers basically mean how many centimeters you need to do a full 360-degree turn in game. It's the most accurate way to measure sensitivity as it is universal across all games. I'll leave this calculator in the description where you can enter your DPI, in-game sends, and it'll tell you your cm per revolution right here. Okay, so why 20 to 36 centimeters? It's a medium sensitivity that gives you the best of both worlds. Generally, lower sens favors aiming because it's easier to be more precise, and higher sens favors building because building doesn't require much precision. You get to react faster to certain situations as well. This is why I feel like this medium range is effective. Just as a side note, I quote this from Sparky, "Muscle memory for aiming is mostly a fad. A player with good mouse control will be able to change their sensitivity in mouse without any significant problems, so long as they don't go to extremes. There can be a noticeable difference, but that's not related to memory, but more related to comfort and preference." Essentially, what this means is that you can change your sens really often. It won't suddenly mean you have no aim at all after you change it. To choose your sens, you can start at a baseline at a medium range, then increase it or decrease it, basing it on how much mouse space you have and how comfortable you are. Remember that some sensitivities will feel uncomfortable at first, but practice will eventually make it comfortable just for you. Number 2. Aim theory. Aiming is subjective and has a lot of meanings, but one common component I can confidently put to use in any game is mouse control. We'll be learning which types of mouse control there is, so we'll be able to apply it to different situations. Let's start with tracking. Everybody has a good idea of what tracking is. It's when you hold your left click and follow your target's movement. One of the most important components of tracking is reactivity. You want to be conscious when reacting to direction changes and moving patterns on your target. Eventually, you'll build up the skill to react properly to each movement. For example, let's say my target is riding on a boat. Driving a boat usually results in a long strafe, so the direction of the enemy will not change much. This way, it's an easy, smooth, and constant movement to aim at the target. Another thing you should understand is that jumping or gliding people are always easier to track because they don't have many places to move. When someone jumps, where they land is fairly obvious. You should take advantage of these situations and track them to the spot which they must land. Also, when you track, make sure you track smoothly and do it in an unwavering movement. To give an example, here is me on Kovac tracking a moving target. As you can see, I am focusing on keeping that smooth movement, preventing me from spazzing dramatically and ruining the control I have over my aim. As long as you keep a smooth movement and identify moving patterns, that's pretty much it for tracking. I'll have a bit more in the aim routine / practice section of the video. Next, click timing. Click timing is fairly simple and self-explanatory. You react to an enemy by moving your crosshair to the target and timing your click effectively. This shouldn't be confused with flicking, which is a small part of click timing. Let's elaborate more into this. Click timing is mostly associated with the shotgun. When you aim, make sure you don't waste your mouse movement and pace your shots so that you do the most effective damage. In this clip here, you can see that I don't shoot immediately and wait for the headshot to finish the kill. I feel like a lot of players try shooting as soon as possible when they edit, like what you see right here. Try to be more conscious of where your shot will land first and how efficient your shots will be. Flicking can also come to play in click timing, but it isn't something that you should train because of how inconsistent it is. Flicking should be used as a means of getting to your target, but if you are off your target, a micro adjustment to the target is much more consistent and valuable. Therefore, the only time you should be flicking is to switch targets. You have to be fast or you're gonna die. Another appropriate time to flick is when someone appears on your screen out of nowhere and you have to kill him because you want to take advantage of that time window that you get to shoot him. Make sure you make your flick smooth and purposeful. So acquire a target and make sure your crosshair is on the target before it hits. Otherwise, just micro adjust and boom.
There aren't a lot of aim movement techniques for Fortnite since the movement is so clunky, but there are a couple of useful things you could do to assist your aim or even dodge more shots. One of the most underlooked things to do when peeking is to sprint to make yourself more evasive. I learned this from DestinysJesus in his How to Get Better movement video. Basically, whenever you take a wall from someone or just flat out peek someone, there are times you'll just peek without running, and that gives the enemy a way easier time shooting you. When you run and peek though, it makes you a lot harder to shoot because the target has a shorter time window to peek you. Here is an example of what I mean. Next, another thing that DestinysJesus and also Speedy Gonzalez found watching Mr. Savage is that if you strafe to your right when you're dueling someone, the enemy has a worse view of you because their character model is in the way. Aim assist is also weaker to people who strafe right, so that's another benefit. I'll play Destiny's video so you can see how it works. A few other tips regarding dodging now. When you are getting SMG tracked, don't crouch spam as much because you want to evade and move around as fast as possible. Crouching will only impede your movement and make you easier to shoot. You can crouch or crouch spam when the opponent has a shotgun as the shots are in intervals and more dodgeable. Aim routines. Just a quick disclaimer, I'm not really going to go over the creative aiming maps, but I will be going over Kovacs aim routines and why you should do it. You can get Kovacs for around $10 on Steam and $5 on holidays, and I think that if you have the ambition and motivation to improve, those bucks are worth it. The reason people Kovacs is that there's a lot of downtime in Fortnite where you're just running around and looting, so you don't have a lot of time to actually practice your aim. Kovacs makes it so you can constantly practice your aim in a controlled environment. Sparky and Aimer7 have some wonderful general routines for Fortnite and other games. All the scenarios in these routines have a general concept that you'll have to grasp and understand. Pause. I know a lot of you probably hate reading and the last time you read a book was like the 5th grade, but these guides contain a wealth of information that this video cannot fully cover without making it an hour long, so please check it out. Anyways, let's just start off with Aimer7's routine as an example. We see close long strafes, which features a bot who moves constantly in one direction and doesn't switch direction often. This is an example of something that is really common in Fortnite. There are many times where people are just running in a straight line, not really a zigzag, and this is where you can apply the concept of long strafes. There are also these strafes at other ranges, so you can practice this too. I'm not going to go over every single one or else this would be a super long video, so go in the description or the pinned comment and check the routines out. The main principle that you're trying to get is that for whatever you practice, make sure it's applicable to the real game. This is why you shouldn't play dogshit scenarios like Jumble Tile Frenzy, as they provide no actual practice for you. I still want to flex my score anyways because it makes me look good even though I'm not that good. Lastly, aim sense, afterword, or whatever you want to call it. This isn't going to be a long section. Aim sense, as I call it, is how you are utilizing your aim to its utmost potential. You can have the best aim in the world, but if you're not using the game mechanics to your advantage, you're taking the L. Basically, all I'm saying is make sure you always have stuff like crosshair placement and right hand peeks in mind. Those are mechanics that should naturally come to you as a Fortnite player. Also, this should be quite obvious, you're not going to see improvement immediately without practicing, nor will you become a god just playing an aim trainer. What's most important is that you actually play the game to practice. Make sure you're scrimming and like doing creative. Aim train is just something you do when you're not doing that. Remember, aim is just a small part of this game. Building and game sense are arguably more important components than your aim. I hope you guys enjoy the video and are staying safe during these weird times. Like, this is the weirdest year I've ever lived in. I made these last few sections really rushed, but I'm sure that a lot of content in the description would be able to cover any holes or missing answers that I've had in my video. I kind of wanted to rush this because like I kind of owed everyone this. It's been a long time, you know? I would also like to apologize for how many times I've promised to deliver this aim guide only to delay it for like months. Truth be told, I didn't know how to format this video at all, and often I felt like I wasn't qualified to make the video. Aside though, because I really got the feels when I saw the amount of people that supported me over the course of the year. I'm 17 now, today's my birthday, and I felt that I had to upload it today because y'all some amazing ass people. Thank you for all the support, thank you for everything, and peace out.